The weekend of boxing is stained with controversy. We have first Paddy Donovan being robbed of a clear victory in Belfast against Lewis Crocker, who did not look world level at all. He was leading with his head as much as Paddy Donovan was, but he was not punished whatsoever by Marcus McDonald, the referee in the fight. So Paddy Donovan is deduced 2 points throughout the match, warned a couple more times. He's really, got to be in his head at this point. Then it's loud atmosphere in there, and I think this is, a simple take from me, but I'm not going to read much into it otherwise, and I can see at this point that Marcus McDonald is frustrated with Paddy Donovan and how many times he's given him warnings on different things throughout the fight. And I don't think it was that one-sided, nonetheless. Paddy Donovan then hits Lewis Crocker after the bell and is disqualified. And I think this is a case of Marcus McDonald taking the easy way out. He's thinking to himself, what do I do in this situation? It's, all hell's going to break loose. What do I take another point from him? Well, I've got grounds to disqualify him, so here I will. I think it's a little unfair in retrospect. At the moment, the very thing I thought was the clacker went off and Marcus McDonald didn't even get closer to the fighters. So I thought he mustn't have heard the clacker. If he didn't hear the clacker, I doubt he heard the bell or Paddy Donovan heard the bell. Paddy Donovan only, backed off of Crocker after he went to the ground. He went to run towards a neutral corner. I don't think he had the slightest clue that the bell had rung. And if Marcus McDonald wanted to enforce the bell, he's got to be closer to the fighters there to be able to engage and break up the action when the bell goes, especially in that atmosphere, and that's something he's got to be aware of. So I think the punishment is harsh. Donovan was clearly the better fighter in the ring, and it wasn't even that close. I think Lewis Crocker, in whatever world title shot he gets, is going to get run over if he looks like that. It's a real disappointment. It kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I was considering not watching this one back. I worked through the actual event and I thought, do I go back and watch this? I already know the outcome's going to be, annoying. I had seen some of the headlines, and it is a disservice because in spots, Paddy Donovan looked, absolutely class. I think Crocker just, and it's difficult because up till now he's been a pretty reputable fighter, fan-friendly. Now he's kind of taking this easy out in a match. I wonder how that will reflect upon his career going forward. I don't think anyone believes he deserves a world title shot after that performance. Does that leave a sour taste? Will be interesting to see the fallout from this fight, but you do feel for Paddy Donovan. You feel for Andy Lee, the whole team there. They really are some of the best camp in boxing. You can tell they all just really have a lot of love for each other in that camp, and so you do wish that the hard work of the deserving fighter pays off, but it wasn't in the cards that night. On the other controversy of the weekend, and I'll admit I haven't watched this fight. Not only do I not pay 80 plus US dollars for pay-per-views with limited amounts of enticing matchups, really nothing on this card gets you very excited. I'm sorry, but Gervonta was the heavy favorite going into the fight. That doesn't take away what Lamont Roach did, but that didn't seem to be an interesting matchup on paper. Tank is long overdue for fighting the Shakur Stevenson's other stars, and he should have fought Lomachenko. He's been around so long without really fighting anyone in the last 6-7 years. Aside from that, I'm really not looking to support him in his career. Everyone can have different opinions, but I think he's proven time and time again that he's not necessarily the best fella, and he's an incredibly talented boxer, but just my opinion, not one to really follow along or cheer on the fights of Gervonta Davis's. So I do see in the fight, it's most people's opinion that he should have lost on the cards. It was definitely, I was able to watch the ninth round where he took a knee and it wasn't counted as a knockdown. He just got a nice little timeout, was able to kind of get his composure after it looked like a, punch kind of, a right kind of hooking shot caught him on the eye. And he took a knee, rested for a minute, wiped his eye out, and came back into the fight and didn't get scored a 10-8, so that was bizarre. So again, a weekend of boxing where unfortunately instead of the best of the best, we're talking about reffing, judging, and you know, just some unsatisfying results. So what do you think of all of this? Who should all these guys fight next? What should Donovan do? What should Roach do next? Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Talk to you next time.